Sanmalari guys, welcome to my YouTube channel where we talk about all things music. My name is Gabisile Nkosi. Some of you know me as Gabisile Star. I am a singer, I am a musician, a vocal coach, and an English online teacher. I just actually thought I'd introduce the person behind the voice. So some of you may know me from the group Breathe. Some of you may know me from the group This Is It. Some of you may know me from backing in the industry. I've backed artists like Lebus Khawela. I've been on Clash of the Choirs, yay! And I've also been in the UJ choir for all my choir people. You probably know me from there. And then more recently, and I think one song that a lot of people know, Pindu Kulume from the river, as well as Pindu Kulume that I did with Veni Kantare. So maybe a backstory just about myself, introduction. I grew up in Middelburg, Mpumalanga, my hometown, 1050, if you know, you know. And I've always loved music. I've really always loved music. It's always been a passion of mine. One time my mom told me a story of when I was young, and I think we were at church, and I think a group of ladies, if you know, like if you're South African, you know, like sometimes a mama, you know, they go up you know, in front and they actually render a song or an item from a hymn book. And I think one time there was something like that with my mom, and my mom says I went up there with them and I was just, you know, I wanted to grab the microphone, and I don't know whether I was like 5 or something, so that memory stayed with me quite a lot. So I think, you know how they say a child always knows. I think your soul always knows what it's destined to do and what its purpose on earth is. We'll go into that, you know, later in the episodes. So I grew up in Middelburg, born and raised. I'm very proud of my town, guys. Like, I love Middelburg so much. I love Mpumalanga with my whole heart. I went to law school Middelburg in Mpumalanga. Funny enough, I never made it to the choir when I was in primary school, right? But when we played like Jam LE and, you know, these types of games, I would win, and my friends would be like, oh my goodness, you know, you can sing, and, you know, you should be the judge. And I'd be like, you know, maybe there is something to this. But I never made it into the choir for 7 years, guys, you know. I remember in grade 8, I also thought, you know what, I don't know, man. I'm starting to really question whether I truly can sing or I truly have this gift that people are talking about. Because at this point, I'm able to harmonize. I'm able to hear certain things. I can hear the key. Do you get what I mean? Like, I think I was quite developed, right? But obviously vocally, I think I still needed a lot of work and a lot of training. Fast forward to grade 8. I make it to grade 8 and they announce choir auditions, and I'm so excited. I'm thinking, yes, it's my time to shine, you know. So anyway, I finally make it to grade 8 and I auditioned for the choir, and I remember having a conversation with my mother. This is such a core memory for me because yeah, she's passed now. She's passed on now. But I remember having a conversation with her in the car. She had fetched me from school, so I told her, you know, we're having choir auditions, and, you know, I really want to make it into the choir, but I'm so nervous because I don't know, you know, whether I have what it takes or whatever. And she said to me, they're gonna take you, don't worry, you're gonna be fine, they're gonna take you. I made it into the choir, and guys, I was so happy. I got my first solo song ever, and I remember telling my mom, I think I was also shy, you know, to sing, shy and very uncomfortable singing in front of people that I knew, which was so weird because in front of strangers I can sing, guys, you know. So I remember my mom, you know, would take me to rehearsal, would fetch me. And I remember one time we had a concert, and I told her as she's dropping me off, and I said, I'm actually singing a solo today. My mom was so hurt. She was like, why didn't you tell me? You know, we would have been here to support you, to listen to you. And I said, no, like, I don't want you to come, you know, don't be here. Because I think I was shy, you know. I was like, no, you know, you gotta make me nervous, you know. And she said, okay, I won't be there. You know, this story always makes me quite emotional. But she left. At least I thought she left. Like, for years I thought she left. She never told me this. So she left, and then we went in for sound check, and I did the solo, and we sang and everything, and then the show started. We had the concert and everything. Then she came back, she fetched me. How was it? Oh, it went well and everything. And then I remember, so my mom passed away in 2011. I was in grade 10. And I remember that year I was singing quite a lot at church. Like I was more confident at church now. And I remember our music teacher, who was a bit older than me, but very close to my mom, because she could also sing, and my mom loved her voice. And my mom would call her to like sing songs for her and stuff like that. That year after my mom passed away, she came to our house for home cell, and then for a service at our house, and we're singing. So I'm standing next to her, and I'm singing and I'm singing, and then after that she says to me, "You have such a beautiful voice, you know, I wasn't really singing much, I was just listening to you, but how come you never sang much, you know, at church, and you would be so shy?" I was like, you know. And then she says to me, "And your mom told me like she once heard you sing, you were singing with the choir and you had a solo." And I was like, "No, she wasn't there." And she said she was. She told me she came back and she actually like hid somewhere and she heard you. Oh God, guys, no. First episode, I'm crying. Yeah, and she heard you sing and she was just like, wow. And she had never told, like she never told me, you know. So that was such a special thing to know, you know, that she actually didn't listen to me. And she actually came back, you know. So that was, I think I'll cherish that for the rest of my life. So I'm also very grateful to God that he would also orchestrate things in a way that this lady, you know, would actually even share that with me, because I think I would have never known, you know. So yeah, that was the beginning of my journey. Okay, 2 minutes.